How's it going, guys? I'm the Gaming Updater, but you can call me TK, and as you might have guessed from the title, today I want to talk to you about what I want to see in the next Destiny game, in Destiny 2, or Destiny whatever the hell they're going to call it. Pretty simple. I may as well just get straight into it. I've just got a load of dot points in front of me, just things I want to see, whether it be features or whether it be changes specifically to the game itself. You'll know what I mean. I'll head straight into it. First of all, number one, not a bigger range of weapons and armor physically, but just the design, as in going through the early stages from level 1 to 20, and then into the early stages of light up to 23, 24, that kind of range. It gets very the armor's design itself gets very repetitive. Now that's not to say there's not lots of different kinds of armor. They've all got their different specs and stats, which is cool. It's awesome. However, just mix it up a little. Have them slightly different. So it's like if I get a green piece of armor, I know it's going to be Vector Oath, basically, and I'm talking Warlock here. That's my favorite class to play. Or if it's blue, it's probably going to be Nemesis playing. You just see the same things coming up again. They all sort of look the same, just a bit more variety in those earlier levels. As you get to the later stages, it's pretty cool. But the game's too much of a grind, and for me, because I don't play heaps of Destiny, that's one of the things, even in the early stages, that just sort of pulls me back a bit. I'd like to see a load more variety in the weapons and armor, so that'd be really cool just in the early stages. The second thing, put the DLC in the game. Now this is like so frustrating because I've been looking forward to Destiny at least a year before it had even come out. I've been following it for about 2 years. I'd read a couple of articles in the very early stages of coming out, and I've been looking forward to this game so much. However, in 12 hours, I've finished the story, as you should, which is fair enough. But even then, I'd done some of the strikes about 3 or 4 times. I'd done a story mission a few times, which is fair enough. Story missions I might do once or twice. I might not get that good a score. I might not do too well. I might die and just have to start again. Blah, blah, blah. That makes sense. But when you're doing them over and over again, it's frustrating. And now the DLC's come out, and because I bought the white PS4, I didn't get the DLC with it. The game felt so short. It felt done. It felt, and then the DLC comes out with some extra missions, and it's like, why are these extra missions not in the game? The DLC should be in the game. If not, make the game bigger, because it was too small. The DLC needed to be part of the original release. My bad. I'd like to see a better story, and I don't mean a better story as in the levels themselves were cool. All the levels individually were mad ass, so it heaps fun. The game is fun, and that's really all the game should be. But I think the one thing I was looking forward to heaps in the game that I didn't quite get was like a story that I couldn't criticize. I couldn't pull it apart. Before the game came out, they pumped it up as something huge, which was probably one of the things that made it down. Just a bad advertisement before the game came out. But I'd like to see, less repetitive missions, such as not doing things 3 times, and a story that you can't, that was actually intriguing. I sort of lost my way in it. I was just doing the missions. I wasn't really focused on the story itself. I'd like to see something a bit more intriguing. Something closer to Halo. That kind of thing. I don't want it to be Halo. I get that they're trying to move away from that a little bit, but it sort of became a bit repetitive. It wasn't intriguing enough. Didn't draw me in well enough for as much as I thought it would. And I think the game is good enough that it could do. So that's just something I reckon that'd be some better writing. It'd be really cool for the next Destiny. Fix the player versus player. Now this is a bit of a broad one. It's not a necessity as such, but just sorting out things such as the rewards and how random they are, and maybe some matchmaking, things like that. It's not drawing me in enough, because I haven't come from Halo or anything like that. When it comes to PvP, Battlefield is pretty much my game. Any small range maps like COD or Halo or Destiny even, I'm not too big on. I'm probably starting to play it a bit more now. As you can see, I've just sort of picking up Destiny again. I'm a bit over the strikes and things, so I've decided to play PvP. But it just feels a bit restricted, a bit random, as in I could do really badly. I could get nothing for 25, and still I'll get better rewards than the guy who scored 5,000 in the first 2 minutes of the game. You know what I mean? Just go over that. The PvP, however, that's probably a little one. The PvP seems pretty cool. Probably just less my taste. I think maybe I'm just being a bit frantic. The next one, make public events a thing, and don't judge me on that. I know they're a thing, but they were probably what could have saved Destiny for me. I did a lot of free roaming just because I found it fun. Free roaming was awesome, and I've only ever experienced I've probably played, I don't know, maybe 40 hours worth of Destiny. I've only ever joined in down here in Australia, only 2 packed public events. The rest, it might be just me and one other guy. Some of them were just me, which is, it was probably my favorite part, looking at all the trailers coming into Destiny. It was probably one of the biggest things I was excited for, and if public events came up more often, if there was loads of people in each one, I reckon that would have made Destiny for me, and I wouldn't make this video. I'd just be loving Destiny. I was so disappointed by that. Only ever experienced 1 or 2 of those massive public events, which is sad, because it's such an awesome idea. I hope they bring that back much stronger in the next Destiny. Finally, a couple of features which I reckon would be cool. First one would be to design your own ship. Now, even if this means just choosing your own wings, choosing your own color, just putting a couple of little bits and pieces together just to make your own ship seem cool. The ships get a little repetitive once you've seen just the few designs and colors of the ships. They're a bit different. I think I bought a ship close to the start of the game. I was just sort of exploring around with the glimmer and seeing what I can buy, and I went straight in as soon as I could and bought an awesome ship. And even 30 hours of Destiny later, it's still my ship. There weren't any that really got better. They don't mean anything. They're just sort of something that comes up in the loading screen. And the one I bought I thought looked pretty cool, and I haven't seen one that I like better. Just make your own. I reckon that'd be a cool little feature. Kind of like how FIFA would be really cool if you could make your own stadium. Something like that. Something, even if it was just really simple, I reckon it'd be just another extra thing to personalize your Guardian in Destiny, which I reckon would be awesome. And finally, individual item shaders. Now, this is something I actually thought this would be, but for, a bit little confusing, it wasn't. The fact that you can choose shaders is mad. The colors that they have are cool. But I reckon just being able to have an individual shader, make them cheaper, have an individual shader for your pants and your torso and your hood and blah, 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 whatever. It'd be just another way to personalize your Guardian. And while we're at it, actually, making sure that the actual classes, I think, are a bit more individual, as in they're a bit too. Everyone seems to know this. This is probably one of the bigger ones. That they're very close to the same. Apart from your special moves and a couple of the odd stats, they're pretty much the same sort of thing. It's really just the way they look that's the biggest change. But even then, individual shaders would, I reckon, make that a lot cooler. So a lot of these aren't necessities. I'm not trying to complain and stuff. If you want, I can do a video on what I really liked about Destiny and what I hope they keep, because I reckon it's a fun game, and that's all really games need to be, fun. That's why they're here. So, but for now, that'll end today's video. Make sure you stick around, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You can do whatever you want. But be active. I'm happy to do any videos you guys want or anything like that. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Catch you later. TK out, guys. Catch ya.